Imagine living a life where nothing can break you, where every obstacle becomes an opportunity, every setback a stepping stone. A life where fear, self-doubt, and the opinions of others no longer dictate your choices, because your mind has become a fortress. This is not some far-fetched fantasy, but a reality that can be achieved by adopting the mindset of some of the greatest thinkers and warriors in history. Marcus Aurelius, Miyamoto Musashi, and Carl Jung. These figures, each coming from different walks of life, share one thing in common: a mindset that makes them unbeatable. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher emperor, teaches us the art of mastering our thoughts and emotions. His writings remind us that much of what disturbs us in life isn't the external events, but our reactions to them. By learning to control our minds, we can conquer our anxieties, fears, and worries. Marcus Aurelius believed that inner peace and resilience come from focusing only on what's within our control and letting go of everything else. This is the foundation of the unbeatable mindset, the ability to remain calm and composed no matter what life throws your way. On the other side of the world, Miyamoto Musashi, the legendary samurai, was carving out his own path to becoming unbeatable. His philosophy, captured in his work Dokudo, reveals the power of self-reliance and discipline. Musashi lived his life by a code that emphasized self-mastery, simplicity, and the courage to walk alone. He believed that true strength comes from within, and that we must depend on ourselves rather than the validation of others. His mindset teaches us that solitude, far from being a weakness, is a source of immense power. It allows us to focus on our own growth, away from distractions and superficial concerns. Carl Jung, the groundbreaking psychologist, invites us to turn inward and embrace the parts of ourselves that we often ignore, the darkness within. Jung's concept of the shadow reminds us that we are not simply the light-filled personas we project to the world. Deep within us there are hidden desires, fears, and impulses that we often suppress, but instead of fearing this darkness, Jung encourages us to confront it. In doing so, we discover untapped potential, creativity, and strength. The unbeatable mindset is not about pretending to be perfect or fearless, but about embracing the full spectrum of who we are, shadows and all. Together, these teachings form a blueprint for becoming truly unbeatable, not by avoiding life's difficulties, but by confronting them head-on with courage, wisdom, and self-knowledge. Marcus Aurelius shows us how to master our mind and emotions. Miyamoto Musashi teaches us the power of self-reliance and walking our own path. Carl Jung pushes us to dive deep into our psyche and uncover the strength that lies hidden within. These are not just abstract ideas, but practical tools you can use to build a mind that is unshakable, resilient, and ultimately unbeatable. Imagine this. You've just received some frustrating news, or you're facing a deadline at work that's causing your stress levels to skyrocket. What if you could handle this situation with the calm of a seasoned philosopher king? What if, instead of spiraling into anxiety, you could draw upon ancient wisdom that has been tried and tested over millennia? In today's fast-paced world, the teachings of Stoicism, an esteemed philosophical tradition heralded by the likes of Marcus Aurelius, provide essential strategies to confront and conquer the myriad challenges that life throws our way. This philosophy, once used to guide emperors through the complexities of empire, offers profound solutions that are remarkably applicable to alleviating stress and anxiety in our modern lives. The core idea of Stoicism hinges on differentiating between what we can control and what we cannot, urging a focus on self-mastery over external circumstances. You might be wondering, how can the meditations of a Roman emperor, penned in his tent during military campaigns, be relevant to your daily struggles? Here's where our journey into the heart of Stoic wisdom begins. Marcus Aurelius didn't just philosophize about abstract concepts, he provided actionable advice that we can use to navigate our everyday hurdles. Join me as we delve into 5 powerful Stoic strategies, each illuminated by the timeless insights of Marcus Aurelius himself. These are not just philosophical musings, but practical tools that can be woven into the fabric of your daily life. By the end of this video, you'll have a toolkit that will help transform your approach to challenges, reduce your everyday worries, and ultimately enhance your overall well-being. Understanding what is in your control. Here, we'll explore the liberating realization that while you may not be able to control every situation, you can control your reactions and thoughts. This distinction is fundamental in Stoicism and empowers you to focus energy only on what truly matters. Living in the present. Marcus Aurelius teaches us to anchor our thoughts in the present moment, the only domain where we have full agency. We'll examine how this focus not only diminishes fears of the future, but also lessens the regrets of the past. Your mind as your fortress. Stoicism teaches that your mind is an impregnable fortress. External events can only disturb it if you let them. We will discuss how to fortify your mental defenses, enabling you to remain calm and effective regardless of the chaos outside. Acceptance of fate. What does it mean to love your fate? We'll see how embracing what life gives you can transform potential burdens into gifts, and how acceptance can lead to a profound sense of peace. Minimizing desires. Finally, Marcus Aurelius advises that tranquility comes from doing less, but doing what is essential. This segment will guide you on how to streamline your life's complexities and focus on what genuinely serves you. Each of these strategies comes with direct quotes from Marcus Aurelius and contemporary interpretations that show how you can integrate them into your life. Whether you're a student struggling with exams, a professional overwhelmed by corporate battles, or simply someone navigating the daily complexities of life, Stoicism has something to offer you. Why should you care about Stoicism? Because it's more than just a philosophical discourse. It's about actionable and pragmatic responses to life's most daunting challenges. It's about real transformation, from anxiety to equanimity, from chaos to order. By the end of this exploration, not only will you gain historical insights into Marcus Aurelius's meditations, but you will also arm yourself with practical strategies that can help you turn a potentially overwhelming day into one that you approach with confidence and serenity. Stick around as we unpack these age-old secrets to modern tranquility and take your first step towards mastering the art of living well according to Stoic principles. Understand what is in your control. One of the most central tenets of Stoicism involves distinguishing between what is within our control and what is beyond it. Marcus Aurelius crystallizes this idea with clarity. Some things are in our control and others not. Things in our control are opinion, pursuit, desire, aversion, and in a word, whatever are our own actions. Things not in our control are body, property, reputation, command, and in one word, whatever are not our own actions. This principle serves as the foundation of Stoic tranquility and effectiveness in handling life's unpredictabilities. So what does this mean in practical terms? Simply put, it means that our internal responses, our decisions on how to act, and our judgments about situations are within our power to control. On the other hand, the outcomes of these actions, as well as external realities such as whether we get sick, how others perceive us, or the state of the economy, lie outside our direct control. This insight is profoundly liberating. It shifts our focus from trying to control the uncontrollable, which leads to frustration and disappointment, to maximizing our influence where we actually can make a difference. For instance, consider a scenario where you are preparing for an important job interview. The Stoic approach would have you focus intensively on preparing your responses, researching the company, and presenting yourself well. These are your controllable factors. Whether the interviewer will like you, decide to hire you, or favor another candidate are not within your direct control. By focusing on your preparation, you exert your efforts where they count most and minimize anxiety about the outcome. To incorporate this Stoic wisdom into your daily life, begin by using a simple visualization technique. The two-column list. On one side, write down what I can control and list items such as your efforts, your behaviors, your attitudes, and your responses. On the other side, write what I cannot control and list items such as others' behaviors, macroeconomic conditions, natural events, and so on. This exercise not only clarifies your thoughts, but also guides your actions, helping you to commit your energy to the aspects of your challenges where you can actually affect change. Engaging in this practice regularly can transform how you approach anxiety and uncertainty. Over time, you'll find that your stress levels decrease as you internalize the only true locus of your control, yourself. This approach doesn't just apply to individual tasks, but extends to larger life goals and daily interactions. By embracing what you can control and letting go of what you cannot, you not only become more effective in achieving your goals, but also cultivate inner peace and resilience against the vicissitudes of life. This Stoic wisdom is not just about coping with life, but thriving in it by recognizing where your true power lies. By practicing these principles, you prepare yourself not just to handle stress and uncertainty better, but to lead a life that is both proactive and reactive in just the right measure. Remember, Stoicism doesn't make the challenges of life vanish, but equips you to deal with them in a far more serene and effective manner. As you implement this technique, observe how your mindset shifts from a focus on fears and frustrations to a focus on action and possibility. This shift is the first critical step in living a life aligned with Stoic wisdom, a life marked not by absence of trouble, but by tranquility through understanding. Live in the present. Marcus Aurelius compels us to focus intently on the present with his straightforward directive. Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment. This sage advice, while seemingly simple, holds a powerful key to peace of mind and effectiveness. Dwelling on past events can lead to regret and sorrow, while obsessing over the future can give rise to anxiety and fear. However, the present moment is invariably the point of control where we can take actionable and mindful steps towards a fulfilling life. Focusing on the present is a fundamental practice in Stoicism, teaching us to harness our energies and attentions in a way that maximizes our immediate engagement and enjoyment. When we anchor our minds to the present, we are not weighed down by past mistakes, nor are we paralyzed by the uncertainty of the future. This focus enhances our ability to make decisions, respond to our environment, and enjoy the richness of life as it unfolds moment by moment. Implementing this can start with mindfulness exercises, which are designed to train the mind to focus on the current experience without judgment. A simple yet effective mindfulness practice is to engage in regular meditation. Meditation involves sitting quietly and paying attention to your breaths, the sensations in your body, or the sounds around you, gently steering your mind back whenever it wanders. This practice can be done for a few minutes daily and can significantly increase your ability to remain anchored in the present moment. Another practical application of living in the present involves decluttering your mental space by focusing on current tasks. This can be achieved by creating a to-do list each morning and methodically working through it, ensuring that each task is given your full attention until completion. This method reduces the mental clutter that multitasking can bring and increases productivity and satisfaction. For example, if you are working on a report, resist the urge to check emails or think about other tasks. By concentrating solely on the report, you not only do a better job but also enjoy a sense of accomplishment and calm when it's completed. Living in the present also means actively removing the distractions that pull you back into the past or push you forward into the future. This could be as simple as limiting your exposure to news that makes you anxious about future events, or avoiding rumination over past interactions that cannot be changed. When you eat, just eat. When you walk, just walk. Fully immerse yourself in the now. This practice of living in the moment is not just about improving personal efficiency or emotional tranquility, it also deepens your relationships. Being present with family, friends, and even colleagues fosters deeper connections because you are truly engaged with them, not distracted by other thoughts or concerns. It shows that you value them enough to give them your most precious asset, your time and undivided attention. By focusing on the present, we do not ignore the past or future but place them in proper perspective where they do not overpower our current experience. Marcus Aurelius' wisdom here is not a call to passivity, but a call to vibrant, active, and mindful engagement with the now. It's about realizing that life is a series of present moments to be lived fully, rather than missed because we were elsewhere in our minds. The serenity and power this brings are profound and liberating, offering a stoic solution to the chaos of modern existence by simplifying it to the moment we are living right now. This shift in focus is transformative, enabling us to meet life's challenges with grace and poise, and to enjoy the simple pleasures of life as they occur. As we continue to explore these stoic practices, remember that each step brings us closer to a more peaceful and centered way of being, thoroughly equipped to handle whatever life decides to throw our way. You know that feeling, when you want to make better use of your time, but somehow you end up scrolling through social media instead? I've definitely been there. That's why I'm excited to introduce you to today's sponsor, Imprint. It's an app that turns those small pockets of time into opportunities for growth and learning. Imagine being able to dive into lessons about philosophy, science, and history, all in just a few minutes. I've been using Imprint myself, and what's incredible is how it transforms complex ideas into quick, bite-sized lessons that are not only easy to digest, but designed to actually stick. It's the perfect way to fit learning into your day, whether you're commuting, waiting in line, or just taking a break. What really sets Imprint apart is how intuitive it is. The app's clean interface and interactive features make learning enjoyable, and I find myself looking forward to those moments of downtime where I can learn something new. Plus, the visuals are amazing, making complex concepts super easy to understand. If you're ready to level up your learning game, check out Imprint using the link in the description. Thanks again to Imprint for sponsoring this video. Your mind is your best fortress. Marcus Aurelius provides a profound reminder that should embolden any individual facing adversity. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This statement encapsulates a critical Stoic principle, that our greatest strength lies not in altering the external world, but in controlling our internal responses. Our minds are fortresses, and within their walls, we possess the ultimate authority over how we interpret and react to the world outside. Understanding and harnessing this power can significantly alter our experience of life. It's not the events themselves that disturb us, but the views we adopt about them. For instance, if you receive criticism at work, you can either view it as a humiliating rebuke or as valuable feedback that provides an opportunity for growth. The choice of perspective will determine your emotional and practical response. It can cripple you with insecurity or propel you toward enhanced performance and resilience. One powerful technique to manage your perspective is cognitive reframing. This involves consciously shifting your mental perspective on a situation to view it in a more positive or realistic light. For example, if you're stuck in traffic, rather than brooding over the time wasted, reframe it as a gifted period of solitude and a chance to listen to your favorite podcast or music. This shift doesn't change the situation externally, but it does alter its emotional impact by changing how you think about it. Another effective tool is the use of positive affirmations. These are short, powerful statements that, when repeated often, can help to reinforce a positive mental outlook and overwrite the negative, often subconscious narratives we tell ourselves. For example, affirmations like, "I am in control of my responses," or "I choose to find the positive opportunities in everything I encounter," can fortify your mindset against the stresses and shocks of daily life. Let's consider a scenario analysis to illustrate different responses to the same event. Imagine you have just been passed over for a promotion at work. You can respond in several ways. Negative frame. View it as a personal failure, internalize the decision as a reflection of your inadequacies, and carry that resentment and self-doubt into every future endeavor. Positive frame. Interpret it as an opportunity to identify areas for personal growth. Use it as a motivator to seek constructive feedback, to understand better what skills or experiences you need to develop to be undeniable the next time around. Using affirmations. Remind yourself that your value is not defined by this single event and that you have the power to excel through other avenues. I am capable, and I will continue to prove my worth. In these variations, the external event, the missed promotion, remains the same. However, the internal response, shaped by cognitive reframing and supported by affirmations, dramatically shifts the experience from one of defeat to one of empowered resilience. By viewing our minds as fortresses and actively choosing our responses, we not only protect ourselves from negative emotions, but also turn challenges into stepping stones for personal development. The Stoic practice is especially crucial in our modern era, where external events are often unpredictable and beyond our control. By strengthening our mental fortress, we not only safeguard our peace of mind, but also enhance our ability to navigate life's complexities with agility and optimism. The true challenge and the true power lies in using the mind's ability to transform perspective into an actionable asset, making what seemed insurmountable manageable and what was once distressing a source of strength. This is the essence of living a life not buffeted by the winds of fate, but navigated by the compass of reasoned and responsive thought. Acceptance of fate. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, teaches us a compelling way to confront the inevitable. Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. This guidance is not merely a call for passive resignation, but a profound command to embrace the concept of amor fati, which translates to love of fate. This Stoic philosophy is not about submitting weakly to whatever life throws at us, but rather about celebrating it with vigor, understanding that every event serves a purpose. Amor fati goes beyond mere acceptance. It is about falling in love with whatever happens in life, seeing the good in the inevitable, and viewing every circumstance as an opportunity to experience the full spectrum of existence. It teaches that worry and resistance are counterproductive, and that by embracing our fate, we align ourselves with the natural flow of life. This doesn't mean we seek out suffering or passively accept injustice. Instead, it means we find strength and tranquility in acceptance when change is not possible. This stoic embrace can significantly alleviate worry, for worry often stems from our desire to control the uncontrollable. When we resist what life offers, we waste our energies on futile anxieties. However, when we accept events as they are, particularly those we cannot change, we can dedicate our efforts towards areas where we can make a difference. Acceptance in this way becomes a form of empowerment. It liberates us from unnecessary burdens and directs our actions and reactions in a more productive and emotionally healthy direction. A practical way to cultivate amor fati is through journaling, a method that can facilitate a deeper understanding and acceptance of life's experiences. Here are some journaling prompts to practice acceptance. What recent event did I find difficult to accept? Describe the situation in detail. What were my initial reactions? Reflect on both emotional and physical responses. In what ways did my resistance to the situation cause further distress? How can I reinterpret the event with acceptance and possibly even love? Consider how this event helps you grow, what it teaches you, or how it might be guiding you towards a path you hadn't considered. What are the potential positives that can emerge from this event? Try to find and elaborate on any silver lining. Moving forward, how can I approach similar events with acceptance and love? Outline actionable steps or mindset shifts that can help you embrace your fate more fully in the future. These exercises are designed to shift your perspective from one of resistance to one of enthusiastic acceptance. Writing down your thoughts and feelings can help process them more clearly and reduce the emotional impact that resistance often exacerbates. This practice not only aids in accepting what has already happened, but also prepares you to face future events with a more resilient and open heart. In embracing amor fati, we find a powerful ally in Marcus Aurelius' Stoicism. This approach does not weaken our resolve, but strengthens it by ensuring that our energies are not wasted on regret or resentment. Instead, we learn to channel our resources toward proactive and positive actions that align with our deep values. Through this, acceptance becomes not a surrender, but a battle strategy tailored to the inevitable challenges of life, allowing us to remain aligned with our purpose and serene amidst chaos. Thus, amor fati transforms our existential posture from one of victimhood to one of heroic affirmation of life, enabling us to live fully and fearlessly no matter what twists and turns we encounter on our path. Minimize your desires. In a poignant reflection on the nature of tranquility, Marcus Aurelius advises, "If you seek tranquility, do less, or, more accurately, do what's essential, what the reason of a social being requires and in the requisite way, which brings a double satisfaction, to do less, better." This instruction not only serves as a guide to efficiency, but also as a philosophical principle for managing desire and complexity in our lives. By focusing on what is truly essential, we can significantly reduce the clutter, both physical and mental, that burdens us, and hone in on what genuinely matters. The essence of minimizing desires is not about deprivation. Rather, it's about aligning closer to our genuine needs and dismissing superficial wants that distract and detract from our contentment. This concept is deeply intertwined with the Stoic idea of virtue being sufficient for happiness. If we can train ourselves to desire less, what we do have and what we do pursue becomes more fulfilling. The less we clutter our lives with unnecessary pursuits, the more space we create for meaningful activities that foster true satisfaction and peace. Simplifying life to focus on essential tasks means identifying the core activities and responsibilities that truly align with your personal and professional values, and dedicating yourself fully to these endeavors. This simplification allows you to perform these tasks more effectively and with greater enjoyment. For example, if a key part of your job involves creative thinking, clearing your schedule to provide uninterrupted time for deep work could yield not only better outcomes, but also a more rewarding work process. Reducing desires directly impacts our capacity for worry. Desires, especially those that are material or superficial, often lead to a cycle of endless wanting that can never be fully satisfied. Each unmet desire can become a source of anxiety and discontent. However, when we minimize these desires, we lower the stakes of our day-to-day experiences and become more resilient to disruptions and disappointments. The fewer desires we have, the fewer opportunities for worry to take root. Practically speaking, creating a minimalist schedule involves several steps. Identify your priorities. Clearly define what is most important in your life. This could be your family, your career, your health, or your personal growth. Understand that not everything can be a priority. Evaluate your tasks. For each task you currently undertake, ask whether it aligns with these priorities. If it doesn't, consider minimizing or eliminating it from your schedule. Consolidate and delegate. Where possible, consolidate similar tasks and delegate those that others can do just as well or better. This not only frees up time but also allows others in your team or family to grow and contribute. Set boundaries. Learn to say no to requests and opportunities that do not align with your essential tasks. This protects your time and energy from being dispersed too thinly. Plan for downtime. Equally important is scheduling time to relax and rejuvenate. This isn't wasted time, it's an essential part of maintaining a sustainable pace and ensuring you have the energy for those tasks that truly matter. Reflect regularly. Regularly review your activities and desires. As your circumstances and priorities change, your definition of what is essential might also shift. By incorporating these steps, you transition from being reactive, scattered across numerous unfulfilling activities, to being proactive about what you choose to engage with. This approach not only enhances your productivity and efficiency, but also increases your overall life satisfaction by reducing stress and anxiety associated with trying to do too much. Marcus Aurelius's counsel to do less better is not a call to inaction, but a call to optimal action. It is about maximizing the impact of our efforts by minimizing distractions. This philosophy promotes a life not filled with more, but filled with better. Better work, better relationships, better peace of mind. As we conclude our exploration of these Stoic strategies, let us carry forward this notion of refined simplicity, not just as a method of work, but as a way of living. Through this, we achieve not just temporary calm, but lasting tranquility and a profound connection to the world around us. By understanding and implementing these principles, we arm ourselves with the tools not only to face the challenges of the modern world, but to thrive within it. As we wrap up our exploration of the timeless wisdom imparted by Marcus Aurelius, let's take a moment to recap the profound Stoic strategies that we've discussed, each designed to fortify your life against the inevitable waves of worry and stress. First, we embraced the crucial understanding of what lies within our control and what does not. By focusing solely on our actions, our responses and decisions, we conserve our energy and dedicate ourselves to areas where we can make a real impact. This separation of powers within our own lives not only clarifies our responsibilities, but also reduces the frustration that comes from grappling with the uncontrollable. Next, we ventured into the practice of living in the present. Marcus Aurelius taught us to anchor our thoughts and energies in the now, to alleviate the burdens of past regrets and future anxieties. Through mindfulness and meditation, we can cultivate a powerful presence of mind that enhances our daily experiences and interactions. Our third lesson reinforced the idea that our mind is our greatest fortress. By adopting cognitive reframing and positive affirmations, we learn to shield ourselves from negative influences and maintain a perspective that fosters resilience and strength, regardless of external circumstances. We then delved into the acceptance of fate, or amor fati, a loving embrace of life's experiences as necessary steps in our journey. This acceptance is not a passive resignation, but a dynamic engagement with life, recognizing that each moment, whether joyful or challenging, is a gift that contributes to our growth. Finally, we discussed the importance of minimizing desires to focus on what truly matters. Simplifying our lives by eliminating non-essential tasks and desires frees us up to engage deeply with true priorities, leading to greater productivity, satisfaction, and tranquility. Now, I encourage each of you to take these insights and integrate them into your everyday situations. Whether you're facing stress at work, challenges in personal relationships, or internal conflicts, these Stoic principles provide a robust framework for navigating life's complexities. Implementing these strategies can transform not only how you handle problems, but also how you perceive them, turning obstacles into opportunities for personal development and growth. As you move forward, remember that the path to a worry-free life is not about removing challenges, but about equipping yourself with the tools to handle them effectively. Embrace these Stoic methods, refine them through practice, and watch as they bring a new level of serenity and strength to your life. Let's not just stop at learning these strategies, let's live them. Make them part of your daily routine, your decisions, and your reactions. The journey towards a worry-free life is a continuous one, and each step, each breath taken in accordance with these principles is a step towards mastering the art of living. And so, as we conclude, I urge you not just to think on these teachings, but to act on them. Test them against the complexities of your life, challenge them in the throes of your troubles, and most importantly, trust them to guide you through the tumults with a calm and steady hand. The journey of Stoicism is a journey back to yourself, to a version of you that stands unshaken in the storm, unburnt in the fire, and unwavering in the face of the unknown. Embrace these Stoic methods and start your journey towards a worry-free life. It's a path worth exploring, a life worth living, and a peace worth achieving. Let's walk this path together, with Marcus Aurelius as our guide, and transform the philosophy of Stoicism from ancient texts into modern practice. Remember, the best time to begin is now, and the best way to predict your future is to create it. Have you ever wondered if a single philosophy could transform the way you live, think, and see the world around you? What if I told you that such a philosophy exists, not in the abstract musings of modern self-help gurus, but in the pragmatic wisdom of Japan's greatest swordsman? A legendary figure who not only conquered in battle, but also mastered the art of living. Miyamoto Musashi, a name that resonates through the annals of Japanese history not just for his unparalleled skill with the sword, but for his profound understanding of life's deeper truths. Musashi was not only a warrior, but a philosopher, artist, and writer, whose life's journey culminated in a succinct yet powerful manuscript, the Dokudo, or The Way of Walking Alone. Penned in the seclusion of a mountain cave, weeks before his death in 1645, the Dokudo distills Musashi's lifelong learnings into 21 precepts. These principles are not just tactics for combat, but guidelines for living with independence, dignity, and profound integrity. But why should we, centuries and cultures removed, care about this ancient samurai's final words? In our fast-paced, interconnected world, where distractions are constant and pressures mount from every direction, Musashi's teachings offer a strikingly relevant blueprint for navigating life's challenges with grace and strength. The Dokkodo's principles challenge us to confront our own lives with a sharper lens, encouraging a journey inward to discover what it truly means to live fully, independently, and authentically. In the next few minutes, we'll embark on a journey through these 21 principles, not as distant historical curiosities, but as living wisdom for the modern soul. You'll discover how embracing reality, mastering desires, cultivating integrity, fostering social harmony, and upholding honor can transform your approach to life's myriad challenges and opportunities. Each principle, a stepping stone on the path to a more deliberate and fulfilling existence, invites us to reflect, adapt, and grow in ways we might never have imagined. But how do these ancient precepts translate into our daily lives? Can the wisdom of a 17th century samurai truly guide us in the 21st century? The answer lies not in the literal application of Musashi's words, but in the underlying spirit of his philosophy. It challenges us to ask deeper questions about our values, motivations, and the legacy we wish to leave behind. It prompts us to consider what it means to walk our unique path with courage, discipline, and a profound sense of purpose. As we delve into each principle, I invite you to reflect on your own life, the choices you make, and the values you hold dear. This is not about adopting a new set of rules blindly, but about engaging in a dialogue with the past to illuminate the present and shape our future. By the end of this journey, you will not only have a deeper understanding of Musashi's Dokkodo, but a renewed perspective on how to navigate the complexities of modern life with wisdom, courage, and integrity. Let's uncover the timeless wisdom of the Dokkodo together and explore how its principles can inspire a more intentional, fulfilling, and independent way of living. Continuing with the journey into the heart of Musashi's Dokkodo, we find ourselves at the threshold of perhaps its most compelling teachings: embracing reality and practicing detachment. These principles at first glance might seem like hard pills to swallow, especially in a world that often encourages us to chase after what we want with relentless zeal. But Musashi, through his life and words, offers a different path, one paved with acceptance, detachment, and a broader perspective on our place in the world. Principle 1. Accept everything just the way it is. Imagine you're playing a video game and you come across a level that seems impossible to beat. You try everything you can, but no matter what, you just can't seem to get past it. Now, you have two choices: keep getting frustrated and angry at the game, or accept that this is just a part of playing, and figure out a new strategy or find a way to enjoy the challenge it presents. Musashi's first principle is a lot like choosing the second option in real life. It's about seeing things for what they are, not what we wish they would be. This doesn't mean giving up when faced with challenges. Instead, it's about recognizing the reality of a situation and dealing with it head-on, without letting our emotions cloud our judgment. When we start to see the world this way, a lot of our everyday frustrations start to seem smaller, and we find a certain peace in knowing that we're doing our best with what we have. On a deeper level, this principle challenges us to confront the very nature of our frustrations and disappointments. Often, our discontent stems not from our circumstances, but from the gap between our expectations and reality. When we expect traffic to be light, a friend to always be on time, or a project to go perfectly, we set ourselves up for frustration. Musashi's call to acceptance is a call to bridge this gap, not by lowering our standards, but by preparing ourselves mentally for the myriad outcomes life can present. It's about finding stability within ourselves that isn't easily shaken by the external world. This inner stability becomes a source of strength, enabling us to face life's unpredictability with a calm and centered presence. Principle 5. Be detached from desire your whole life long. Now let's talk about desires. We all want things, maybe a new car, a big house, or even something as simple as wanting our favorite meal for dinner. Desires are natural, but have you ever noticed how, after you get what you wanted, the happiness it brings doesn't last forever? Sometimes it doesn't even make us as happy as we thought it would. Musashi tells us to be detached from these desires. This doesn't mean we can't ever want things, but we shouldn't let our happiness depend on getting them. It's like enjoying a scoop of your favorite ice cream without feeling sad when it's gone because you know it's part of the experience. This detachment leads to a kind of freedom because when we're not constantly chasing after things we want, we can enjoy life as it comes, finding happiness in the moment, in the simple things that we often overlook. To understand the depth of this principle, consider how desires often shape our paths. They can dictate our choices, pushing us toward endless cycles of wanting and acquiring only to want again. This cycle can lead to a life filled with chasing after fleeting moments of happiness while missing out on deeper satisfaction. Detachment, as Musashi presents it, is not about giving up on joy or ambition, but about finding a source of contentment that isn't dependent on external achievements or possessions. It's about enjoying life's journey without being overly fixated on the destination. When we learn to find joy in the simple act of living, our daily experiences, regardless of whether they align with our desires, become richer and more fulfilling. Principle 3. Do not, under any circumstances, depend on a partial feeling. Feelings are tricky. One minute we're on top of the world, and the next we might feel like everything's falling apart, often based on something as fleeting as a comment from a friend or a grade on a test. Musashi warns us not to make decisions based on these temporary feelings. It's like deciding not to play soccer anymore because you missed one goal. If we acted on every whim, we'd be like a leaf in the wind, constantly tossed around without any direction. The key is to recognize our emotions but not let them dictate our actions. Instead, we should make decisions based on what we know, what we've thought about, and what's important to us in the long run, not just how we feel in the moment. Exploring this principle further, we see the danger in allowing transient emotions to guide significant decisions. Our feelings are influenced by a multitude of factors: our environment, past experiences, and immediate circumstances, many of which may not accurately reflect reality. Acting on these emotions can lead us to make choices that feel right in the moment, but don't serve our long-term interests or align with our deeper values. By cultivating a practice of pausing and reflecting before acting, we develop the ability to respond to situations rather than react impulsively. This approach doesn't mean ignoring our emotions, rather, it involves acknowledging them while also considering the broader context of our decisions, leading to actions that are more aligned with who we truly are and what we truly want from life. Principle 4. Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world. In a world that often tells us to look out for number one, Musashi's advice might sound a bit strange, but think about it this way. When you're part of a team, whether it's for a school project or a sports team, do you only think about what you're going to get out of it, or do you also think about how you can contribute to the team's success? Musashi is suggesting we take the second approach to life itself. It's not about thinking less of ourselves in terms of our value, but about not being self-centered. It's about looking beyond our immediate wants and considering our actions' impact on others and the world at large. This broader perspective can make our personal problems seem less overwhelming and inspire us to contribute positively to the world around us. This principle invites us to engage with the world from a place of humility and compassion. In a society that often measures success by personal achievement and accumulation, Musashi's perspective offers a radical shift. Thinking lightly of ourselves doesn't mean diminishing our worth, but rather recognizing that we are part of a much larger tapestry of life. Together, these principles form a foundation for living that is both deeply personal and universally applicable. They teach us to navigate life's challenges with a sense of equanimity, to find fulfillment beyond the endless pursuit of desires, to make decisions with clarity and wisdom, and to live with a sense of purpose that transcends our individual existence. In embracing these teachings, we can cultivate a life that is not only more peaceful and content, but also richer in meaning and connection. As we venture further into Musashi's teachings, we come upon a set of principles that invite us to consider the role of self-discipline in achieving inner peace. This journey into self-discipline isn't about imposing strict rules upon ourselves, but discovering the freedom that comes from understanding our desires and emotions. Let's explore these principles further, unraveling the wisdom they hold for us. Principle 2. Do not seek pleasure for its own sake. Imagine you have an entire cake in front of you. Eating a slice is delightful, but what happens if you eat the whole cake in one sitting? You'd likely end up feeling sick. This principle is similar. It's not about avoiding joy or pleasure in life. It's about understanding that chasing after these feelings without considering the consequences can lead to unhappiness. Pleasure, when pursued as an end in itself, often leads to a cycle of wanting more and never being satisfied. Lasting fulfillment, on the other hand, comes from achievements and experiences that have deeper meaning. It's the difference between the temporary happiness we might get from buying something new versus the lasting satisfaction of learning a new skill or helping a friend. The first is fleeting, while the second adds to our sense of who we are and our connection to the world. By focusing on what truly enriches us, we cultivate a life of genuine contentment and joy. Principle 10. Do not let yourself be guided by the feeling of lust or love. Feelings of lust and love are powerful, and while they can add beauty to our lives, they can also cloud our judgment. Imagine you're on a boat in the middle of a storm, and your emotions are the wind and waves tossing you around. If you let those forces guide you, you might end up lost or shipwrecked. But if you learn to navigate those waters with skill and awareness, you can find your way through the storm. This principle is about recognizing the strength of our emotions, but not allowing them to dictate our decisions. It encourages us to take a step back, breathe, and think about our actions and their consequences. This doesn't mean we shouldn't feel or express love, rather we should love wisely, ensuring our decisions are made with clarity and consideration for ourselves and others. Mastering our emotions in this way leads to healthier relationships and clearer decision-making, grounding us in a sense of inner peace. Principle 11. In all things have no preferences. This principle might sound strange at first. How can we not have preferences? Everyone likes some things more than others. Musashi's point here is not about eliminating preferences, but about not being bound by them. It's like when you go to a restaurant and your favorite dish isn't available, so you try something new and discover you like it just as much. Being open and flexible in this way allows us to experience life more fully. We can find joy and value in various experiences, not just the ones we expected to enjoy. This openness leads to a sense of peace, because we're no longer constantly striving for things to be a certain way. Instead, we can appreciate life as it unfolds, finding beauty and learning in every moment. This principle teaches us the power of adaptability and the peace that comes from embracing life's diversity with an open heart. Principle 13. Do not pursue the taste of good food. At first glance, this principle might seem to advocate for a bland diet, but its wisdom goes far beyond our culinary choices. It's about moderation and finding joy in simplicity. In a world that often tells us more is better, Musashi reminds us of the beauty in simplicity. When we constantly seek out the most exquisite foods, the most thrilling experiences, or the latest gadgets, we set ourselves on an endless quest for satisfaction that never quite fulfills us. Learning to appreciate simple pleasures, a home-cooked meal, a walk in the park, the company of friends, teaches us that happiness doesn't come from external sources but from our ability to enjoy what we have. This principle doesn't mean we should never indulge or enjoy fine things. Rather, it encourages us to find balance and recognize that some of the most profound joys in life come from its simplest aspects. Together, these principles from the Dokkodo guide us toward a life of self-discipline and inner peace. By understanding the fleeting nature of pleasure, mastering our emotions, embracing openness and flexibility, and appreciating the beauty of simplicity, we cultivate a life that is not only more peaceful and content, but also richer in meaning and connection. Musashi's wisdom teaches us that true happiness and fulfillment come not from the external pursuit of desires, but from the internal mastery of oneself. Through this mastery, we discover the freedom to live fully, the clarity to make wise decisions, and the joy of engaging with the world in a more profound and meaningful way. Diving deeper into the essence of Musashi's teachings, we approach a section that speaks volumes about integrity and personal growth. Through his principles, he invites us to look beyond the surface of our lives and question what we truly value, believe in, and how we confront our ultimate fate. Let's unravel these principles further and discover the profound lessons they hold. Principle 14. Do not hold on to possessions you no longer need. In a world where having more is often seen as better, Musashi's 14th principle stands out as a beacon of wisdom. It's easy to get caught up in collecting things, thinking that each new gadget, piece of clothing, or toy will make us happier. But have you ever noticed that, after the initial excitement wears off, you're left feeling just the same as before, maybe even a bit cluttered and overwhelmed? Musashi suggests a different approach, a minimalist lifestyle. Imagine your life as a backpack that you have to carry everywhere. Every possession is something extra you need to pack into it. The more stuff you have, the heavier it gets, making it harder to climb mountains or cross rivers. By choosing only to keep what we truly need or love, we lighten our load, making our journey through life easier and more enjoyable. This principle isn't about depriving ourselves, but about focusing on what truly matters: our experiences, relationships, and personal growth. It's about creating space in our lives for what enriches us, not just what fills our closets. Principle 15. Do not act following customary beliefs. This principle challenges us to think for ourselves, to question the status quo, and not to follow paths laid out by society without considering if they're right for us. From a young age, we're taught to follow certain paths: go to school, get good grades, choose a career, and so on. But what if there's more to life than just following the script? Musashi urges us to think critically about the beliefs and customs we've been taught to accept without question. It's like being in a maze. If you follow the crowd, you might find your way out, but you'll only ever see what everyone else sees. By questioning the paths laid out before us and daring to carve our own, we might discover new, more fulfilling routes. This principle encourages us not just to accept things as they are, but to actively engage with our beliefs and decisions, ensuring they reflect our true selves and not just what we've been told to value. It's about authenticity, carving out a life that's genuinely ours. Principle 17. Do not fear death. At first glance, this principle might seem daunting. After all, fear of death is one of the most common fears, but Musashi's intention isn't to make us fearless in the face of danger, but to inspire us to live more fully by acknowledging the impermanence of life. Think of life like a sandcastle on the beach. We know the tide will eventually wash it away, but that doesn't stop us from building it, creating intricate designs and enjoying the process. In the same way, recognizing that our time is limited can inspire us to make the most of it, to focus on what's truly important, and to live in a way that, when our time comes, we can look back without regrets. It's about embracing each moment, pursuing our passions, and cherishing our relationships. This principle teaches us that the awareness of life's impermanence is not something to fear, but a reminder to live deeply, authentically, and with purpose. Musashi's principles on integrity and personal growth challenge us to reassess our priorities, question our unquestioned beliefs, and embrace the finite nature of our existence. They teach us that growth comes not from accumulating more possessions, but from cultivating our inner selves, that true wisdom lies not in conformity but in critical thought and authenticity, and that a full life is not one lived in the shadow of fear, but one that dances with the knowledge of its own impermanence. By integrating these teachings into our lives, we learn to live with a lighter load, carve our own paths with confidence, and savor the fleeting beauty of our existence. Musashi's wisdom, centuries old yet timeless, offers a blueprint for living that honors our deepest selves and the transient, precious nature of life itself. As we journey further into Musashi's teachings, we arrive at principles that not only guide us in our internal quest for peace and growth, but also shape our interactions with the world and those around us. These principles serve as a compass for navigating social relationships and our own self-reliance, emphasizing the importance of harmony, acceptance, and adaptability. Principle 7. Never be jealous. Jealousy is like a weed in a garden. If left unchecked, it can overtake and ruin the beauty of everything around it. It's a feeling we've all experienced at some point, seeing someone else with something we want, whether it's a new car, a beautiful relationship, or even just attention from others. Musashi teaches us that jealousy detracts from our growth because it focuses our energy on what others have, rather than on developing our own strengths and capabilities. Overcoming jealousy isn't about pretending we don't want things, but about shifting our perspective. It's about celebrating others' achievements and using their success as inspiration to pursue our own goals. When we free ourselves from the grip of jealousy, we open the door to personal growth, allowing us to focus on our journey and the steps we need to take to achieve our own form of success. This principle encourages us to water our garden, tending to our growth and blooming in our unique way. Principle 8. Never let yourself be saddened by a separation. Loss and change are inevitable parts of life. Whether it's moving away from friends, ending a relationship, or dealing with the loss of a loved one, separations can be deeply painful. However, Musashi reminds us that the pain of separation is a part of life's cycle, not an end to our ability to find joy and connection. Dealing with loss and embracing change require us to find strength within ourselves and to remember that life is a series of connections and experiences, each shaping us and teaching us in different ways. Instead of being consumed by sadness, we can learn to cherish the memories and lessons each relationship brought into our lives. This principle doesn't diminish the pain of loss, but offers a perspective that helps us navigate it, reminding us that every ending makes room for new beginnings and opportunities for growth. Principle 9. Resentment and complaint are appropriate neither for oneself nor others. Holding on to resentment is like carrying a backpack filled with rocks on a hike. It only makes the journey more difficult. Musashi advises us to let go of resentment and to refrain from constant complaints, recognizing that these emotions and behaviors sap our energy and can poison our relationships and outlook on life. Resentment often arises from feeling wronged or slighted by others, but dwelling on these feelings keeps us stuck in the past, unable to move forward. Similarly, when we complain, we focus on the negative, overlooking the potential for change or the aspects of our lives that are positive. Learning to let go of resentment and to minimize complaints doesn't mean we ignore problems or injustices. Instead, it means we address them constructively, seeking solutions and focusing on actions that can improve our situation. This approach not only enhances our well-being, but also contributes to a more harmonious environment for everyone involved. Principle 12. Be indifferent to where you live. This principle might seem odd at first. After all, our surroundings can have a big impact on our lives. But at its core, Musashi's message is about adaptability and finding contentment, regardless of our circumstances. It's easy to think we'd be happier if only we lived somewhere else, had a better house, or were in a different situation. However, true contentment comes from within, not from our external conditions. Being adaptable and finding joy in various circumstances doesn't mean we shouldn't strive to improve our living conditions or seek out environments that inspire and uplift us. Rather, it means we don't let our happiness depend solely on those factors. We can find beauty and peace in the simplest settings if we're open to seeing it. This principle teaches us to build our inner sanctuary, cultivating a state of contentment that travels with us no matter where life takes us. Musashi's principles in this section encourage us to navigate the social landscape and our inner worlds with grace, focusing on personal growth, adaptability, and the strength to let go of negative emotions. By overcoming jealousy, embracing the lessons in loss and change, letting go of resentment, and finding contentment regardless of our surroundings, we cultivate a life of harmony and peace, both within ourselves and in our relationships with others. These teachings guide us in building a resilient and adaptable spirit, capable of thriving in the ever-changing tapestry of life. As we delve into the final lessons of Musashi's teachings, we explore concepts that go beyond the immediate and tangible aspects of life, guiding us toward contemplating our legacy and the true essence of honor. These principles encourage us to look at life from a broader perspective, focusing on the values we live by and the legacy we leave behind, rather than the material possessions we accumulate. Principle 16. Do not collect weapons or practice with weapons beyond what is useful. Musashi lived in an era where martial prowess was not just a matter of honor but survival. However, even in such times, he advocated for practicality over excess. In today's world, we might not wield swords or spears, but we have our weapons, skills, knowledge, and resources. His teaching here is about focusing on what's truly useful and necessary. Imagine you're packing for a camping trip. Every item you add to your backpack should have a purpose. Packing too much slows you down, and the same goes for life. Collecting skills, gadgets, or even relationships that don't serve a meaningful purpose in our lives can distract us from our goals and weigh us down. This principle encourages us to be mindful about what we choose to carry in our life backpack, ensuring that everything we hold on to serves a purpose, contributing to our journey rather than hindering it. This principle, at its heart, is about recognizing the difference between being prepared and hoarding. In a world that constantly pushes us toward excess, more gadgets, more skills touted as essential, more connections, Musashi's wisdom calls for a radical assessment of what truly adds value to our lives. It's a call to declutter not just our physical spaces, but our mental ones as well. By focusing on what genuinely serves us, we hone our ability to distinguish between mere accumulation and meaningful preparation. This discernment leads us to a lighter, more focused existence, enabling us to move through life with agility and purpose. It reminds us that true preparedness for life's challenges isn't about having an arsenal at our disposal, but about possessing the right tools and knowing how to use them effectively. Principle 18. Do not seek to possess either goods or fiefs for your old age. In a society that often equates success with material wealth, Musashi's 18th principle challenges us to rethink what it means to be truly prepared for the future. It's like being a squirrel gathering nuts for the winter. While it's wise to prepare, hoarding more than we need can lead to unnecessary stress and takes away from others. This principle is not about neglecting our future security, but about understanding that our well-being in old age isn't solely dependent on material wealth. True security comes from cultivating relationships, community, and a sense of purpose that sustains us, not just a stockpile of goods. It encourages us to invest in our personal growth, relationships, and experiences, which are the true riches that sustain us, providing a sense of fulfillment and happiness that material possessions cannot match. His call to look beyond material accumulation for future security challenges the modern fixation on wealth as the sole measure of a successful life. It's a reminder that the richest moments often come from non-material sources: the stories shared with friends, the laughter with family, the quiet moments of reflection and connection with nature. Focusing on these intangible assets fosters a sense of fulfillment that outlives the transient satisfaction derived from possessions. This principle encourages us to build a foundation of meaningful relationships, lifelong learning, and personal achievements. It's about creating a legacy of experiences and wisdom to pass down, understanding that these are the true treasures that enrich our lives and endure beyond our time. Principle 19. Respect Buddha and the gods without counting on their help. Musashi's spiritual guidance reminds us of the importance of self-reliance and personal effort. It's easy to fall into the trap of waiting for a miracle or divine intervention to solve our problems. However, this principle tells us that while faith and spirituality can provide comfort and guidance, the responsibility for our actions and their outcomes lies with us. It's like studying for a test. While it's okay to hope for a good outcome, the actual work of studying and preparing is up to us. This teaching doesn't diminish the value of spiritual beliefs, but emphasizes the need to take active steps toward our goals, using our abilities and making the most of the opportunities we're given. It's a call to action, reminding us that our fate is in our hands, and while we may seek guidance from higher powers, the real work of building our lives is ours alone. Principle 20. You may abandon your own body, but you must preserve your honor. For Musashi, honor was a paramount value, transcending even the instinct for survival. In modern terms, it's about living according to our values and principles even when it's difficult. It means doing the right thing even when no one is watching, and standing by our words and beliefs even if it comes at a cost. This principle challenges us to consider what we stand for and how deeply we're committed to those ideals. It's about integrity, being consistent in our actions, words, and beliefs. Honor is the legacy we leave behind, the mark we make on the world through our choices and actions. It's what people remember about us, the stories that will be told long after we're gone. This principle invites us to live in a way that, at the end of our days, we can look back with pride, knowing we lived true to ourselves and made a positive impact in the world. Embedded within this principle is the idea of empowerment through personal effort. While faith can be a source of strength and comfort, he emphasizes the importance of taking responsibility for our actions and their outcomes. It's a call to cultivate a sense of agency, to recognize our power to effect change in our lives and the world around us. This principle doesn't negate the value of spiritual support, but places the onus on us to act, to make decisions that align with our values and move us toward our goals. It teaches us that while we may draw inspiration and solace from our faith, our lives are ultimately shaped by our choices and efforts. This recognition of personal responsibility fosters a deep sense of empowerment and resilience, equipping us to navigate life's challenges with confidence and integrity. Musashi's teachings on legacy and honor guide us toward a deeper understanding of what it means to live a life of significance. They remind us that true wealth is not found in material possessions, but in the richness of our character, the depth of our relationships, and the impact of our actions. These principles encourage us to focus on what truly matters, to live with purpose and integrity, and to build a legacy that reflects our highest values and aspirations. Through his wisdom, we learn that the most valuable treasures we can leave behind are the lessons we've learned, the love we've shared, and the honor with which we've lived every day of our lives. As we reach the culmination of Miyamoto Musashi's profound principles, we encounter a guiding light that illuminates the essence of all his teachings. Principle 21. Never stray from the way. This principle is not merely a concluding thought, but the very heart of this philosophy. It's a call to steadfastness and integrity, urging us to discover and adhere to a personal code of conduct that navigates us through life's tumultuous seas. Imagine life as an expansive ocean and yourself as a sailor. The vast waters represent the unknowns and challenges we all face, storms of doubt, waves of challenge, and winds of change. In this vast ocean, your way is your compass, a set of core beliefs and values that guide your decisions, actions, and interactions. Just as a compass offers direction to a sailor in the boundless sea, your personal philosophy or way provides you with direction amidst life's uncertainties. Finding your way is about understanding who you are at your core, what you believe in, and what you stand for. It's about asking yourself the big questions. What is truly important to me? What kind of person do I want to be? How do I want to treat others? The answers to these questions become the stars by which you navigate your life's journey. They're not fixed points, but rather lights that guide you, helping you to make choices that align with your deepest truths. Adhering to your way requires courage and integrity. It means making choices that are consistent with your values, even when it's difficult, even when it means standing alone. It's easy to follow the crowd, to drift along with societal currents, but staying true to your way demands resilience and determination. It's about being honest with yourself, acknowledging your mistakes, and learning from them. It's about striving to be better, not for accolades or recognition, but because it's aligned with your personal philosophy. Musashi's admonition to never stray from the way is a reminder that our lives are defined not by the external successes we achieve, but by how closely our actions align with our inner truths. This principle teaches us that true fulfillment and peace come from living authentically, from making choices that reflect our values and aspirations. It encourages us to build a life that is not just about surviving the storms, but about navigating them with purpose and integrity. Living by this principle transforms how we see the world and interact with it. It shapes our relationships, our work, and our contributions to society. When we are guided by a clear sense of purpose and a strong moral compass, we become beacons of light for others. We inspire those around us to find their own way, to live lives of purpose and meaning. In essence, his final principle encapsulates the journey toward self-mastery and personal excellence. It's a call to action, urging us to live not by the whims of circumstance, but by the strength of our convictions. It reminds us that while life's journey is fraught with challenges, having a way provides us with the clarity and strength to face them head-on, to grow from our experiences, and to carve out a path that is uniquely ours. As we reflect on the significance of having and adhering to a personal philosophy, we realize that it's not about rigidly sticking to a set of rules, but about being flexible and adaptable, learning and growing with each step we take. It's about living in a way that, at the end of our journey, we can look back with pride, knowing that we remain true to ourselves and the way we chose to follow. Musashi's teachings through this final principle offer us a timeless wisdom that the greatest victory is not over others, but over the discord within ourselves, achieved by never straying from our way. Remember, life is an incredible journey filled with highs and lows, victories and defeats. Yet at the heart of this journey is your way, a beacon that guides you through the darkest nights and the fiercest storms. It's your inner compass, pointing you toward true north when the world around you seems to spin out of control. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Carl Jung. In these insightful words lies the essence of our exploration today. The journey into the darker aspects of our psyche, a realm often avoided yet crucial for personal growth. This exploration is not merely about self-understanding, but a transformative path to profound self-realization and empowerment. Carl Gustav Jung, a pioneer in the world of psychoanalysis, introduced concepts that radically altered our understanding of the human mind. Among his most influential ideas is the concept of the shadow. This term represents the unconscious aspects of our personality, traits, desires, and memories that are often ignored or repressed. The significance of confronting these shadowy parts of our being lies in our innate human quest for wholeness and authenticity. The shadow, though frequently perceived negatively, holds a reservoir of energy, creativity, and deep insight into our true selves. By facing it, we set forth on a path of genuine self-improvement and holistic growth. My personal journey with the shadow began at a pivotal moment in my life. Despite external successes, I grappled with an inner void, a disconnect between my achievements and my sense of fulfillment. This dissonance led me to Jung's teachings and subsequently to a path of deep introspection. It was a journey filled with challenges, yet the insights I gained were profoundly transformative. I unearthed aspects of myself that were buried under societal expectations and personal fears. Acknowledging these hidden parts liberated me from self-imposed limits and enabled a more authentic connection with others and a deeper sense of purpose. The core argument we unfold today is this: embracing our dark side is a transformative journey towards becoming our truest selves. It's about recognizing that our shadows, while they may stem from fear and pain, are also sources of untapped potential, strength, and authenticity. This journey is not straightforward. It is complex, filled with challenges and revelations, and most importantly, it is a path laden with opportunities for growth. As we navigate through Jung's psychological landscape, we will explore the nature of this concept, the repercussions of ignoring it, and the transformative power of facing and integrating it into our conscious lives. Integrating our dark side isn't about eliminating these darker aspects or striving for an ideal state of perfection. It's about harmonizing our inner world. This process enriches our personality, expands our emotional spectrum, and increases our capacity for empathy and understanding. The rewards of this integration are diverse. They range from enhanced self-awareness to enriched relationships, from unleashed creativity to emotional resilience. Facing and embracing our darker side can lead to a life that is not only more authentic but also more fulfilling and vibrant. Our discussion will guide you through practical steps for this journey. We'll cover self-reflection exercises, therapeutic approaches, and real-life success stories, shedding light on the path to embracing your shadow. Whether you are new to Jung's theories or are already on the path of self-exploration, our discussion promises to offer thought-provoking insights and actionable strategies. In essence, the journey towards embracing our dark side is transformative. It involves acknowledging, accepting, and integrating all parts of ourselves. It is a path not to becoming who we think we should be, but who we truly are, complex, unique, and whole. Join me as we embark on this profound journey of self-discovery and realization, a journey where facing our shadows leads us to find our true light. Carl Gustav Jung, born in Switzerland in 1875, emerged as a pivotal figure in the field of psychology, forging a path distinct from his contemporaries. His upbringing was marked by a fascination with philosophy and spirituality, elements that would later deeply influence his psychological theories. After beginning his career as a psychiatrist, Jung's early work was significantly influenced by Sigmund Freud. However, he soon diverged, developing his unique theories that would shape modern psychology. Jung's impact on psychology cannot be overstated. He was a pioneer who ventured beyond the traditional confines of early 20th century thought, integrating aspects of mythology, religion, and philosophy into his understanding of the human psyche. His holistic approach was revolutionary, shifting the focus from merely treating psychopathologies to exploring the rich and complex nature of the human mind. Jung's journey into the depths of the mind began with his own experiences. As a child, he was introspective and often solitary, qualities that fostered a deep inner life. This inner world was filled with dreams and visions, which he later understood as manifestations of the unconscious. His academic career was marked by a relentless pursuit of knowledge, culminating in his medical degree from the University of Basel in 1900. His work initially aligned with Freudian psychoanalysis, but by 1912, Jung had begun developing his theories, leading to a famous split with Freud. This break was partly due to Jung's disagreement with Freud's emphasis on sexuality as the sole driving force behind human behavior. Jung believed the psyche was more complex and influenced by broader factors, including spiritual and cultural elements. Jung's career was prolific, marked by extensive writing, lecturing, and the establishment of key psychological concepts. He founded analytical psychology, a school of thought that continues to influence therapy, counseling, and personal development practices today. One of Jung's most revolutionary ideas was the collective unconscious. He proposed that in addition to our personal unconscious, there's a deeper layer shared among all humans. This collective unconscious is a reservoir of experiences and memories inherited from our ancestors, containing universal themes and symbols. These themes, which he called archetypes, manifest across cultures and time, influencing our beliefs, behaviors, and dreams. Archetypes are innate universal prototypes for ideas and may manifest in dreams, literature, art, or religion. Some of the most notable archetypes identified by Jung include the mother, the hero, the shadow, and the anima and animus. These archetypes represent fundamental human motifs or experiences, acting as guides in our psychological development and understanding of the world. Perhaps the most relevant to our discussion today is the archetype of the shadow. It represents the darker, unconscious aspects of the personality that the conscious ego does not identify with. It often comprises repressed ideas, weaknesses, desires, instincts, and shortcomings. Jung believed that confronting and integrating our dark side was crucial for achieving psychological wholeness. He asserted that the parts of ourselves we perceive as negative or undesirable are as integral to our identity as the positive aspects. Jung's exploration of these concepts was not just theoretical. He applied them in his clinical practice. He believed that understanding these archetypes and the collective unconscious could lead to profound insights into a patient's psyche and aid in their journey towards self-realization and individuation. Individuation, a central concept in Jung's theory, is the process of integrating the unconscious with the conscious mind, leading to a more complete and balanced individual. This process involves reconciling opposites within the psyche, such as the conscious and unconscious, the masculine and feminine, and the personal and collective aspects of the self. Through his extensive work, Jung laid the groundwork for many modern psychological practices, from dream analysis to art therapy. His influence extends beyond psychology into literature, art, and religious studies, making him one of the most significant figures in understanding the human psyche. Jung's theories offer a lens through which we can view not just individual psychology, but also cultural phenomena and collective behaviors. By exploring these deeper layers of the mind, Jung opened up new possibilities for understanding ourselves and the world around us. His work invites us to consider the myriad influences shaping our thoughts, actions, and experiences. At the heart of Carl Jung's analytical psychology lies the concept of the shadow, a term that encapsulates the hidden and darker aspect of our personality. Jung described it as the dark side of the ego and the repository of repressed desires, undeveloped potential, and unfulfilled aspirations. It represents those parts of ourselves we choose to keep in the dark, either because they are socially unacceptable, contradict our preferred self-image, or are painful to acknowledge. Jung believed that the shadow is an integral part of the human psyche and is formed during our early developmental stages. As we grow and learn societal norms, we tend to suppress traits and impulses that are deemed inappropriate or unacceptable. These suppressed elements do not vanish but rather accumulate in the unconscious, forming the dark side of our mind. It is not just a repository of negative aspects, it also holds positive potential. Jung famously stated, "Everyone carries a shadow, and the less it is embodied in the individual's conscious life, the blacker and denser it is." This quote highlights that this darkness, if not acknowledged, can have a profound impact on our lives, often manifesting in ways we don't expect or understand. This concept can manifest in various ways in our daily lives, often showing up as projections. Projection is a defense mechanism where we attribute qualities, feelings, or desires we find unacceptable in ourselves to others. For instance, if someone is often irritated by arrogance in others, it might be a trait they unconsciously deny in themselves. Another common manifestation is through dreams and fantasies. The shadow can appear in dreams as a figure of the same gender as the dreamer, often engaging in actions or displaying traits that are in stark contrast to the dreamer's conscious identity. These dream symbols are valuable clues to understanding the hidden aspects of our psyche. Our dark side also emerges in our immediate emotional reactions, especially those that are disproportionate to the situation. For example, an overreaction to a minor annoyance might be a shadow element expressing itself. Such intense emotional responses are often clues pointing towards unresolved issues or repressed aspects of ourselves. It is also seen in our moral judgments. The traits we find most objectionable in others are often reflections of our own shadow. Jung once said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves." This statement underscores the importance of self-reflection when we encounter negative emotions toward others. The shadow plays a significant role in our interpersonal relationships. It can manifest as immediate and irrational dislikes or aversions towards certain people, often because they exhibit traits that we unconsciously reject in ourselves. Conversely, intense and unexplainable attractions can also be the work of the dark side of our mind, drawing us to people who embody aspects of ourselves that we have not yet acknowledged or integrated. Understanding and acknowledging this idea can have profound implications for personal growth. By recognizing and integrating these hidden aspects, we can achieve a greater sense of wholeness and authenticity. The process of shadow work involves exploring these darker aspects, understanding their origins, and finding ways to integrate them into our conscious life. This integration helps in reducing internal conflict and improving our ability to relate to others. It's essential to understand that this dark side, despite its name and nature, is not wholly negative. It harbors not only our fears and weaknesses but also unexplored talents, creative energies, and desires. For example, a person who has always valued rationality and dismissed artistic pursuits might find a wellspring of creativity in their unacknowledged self. Jung's concept invites us to embrace the full spectrum of our personality, including those aspects we might find uncomfortable or challenging. By doing so, we open ourselves to a richer and more nuanced understanding of who we are. This process can lead to a more authentic and fulfilling life, as it allows us to live more fully and express ourselves more genuinely. The consequences of ignoring the shadow. In the realm of psychological development, the failure to acknowledge and integrate the aspects of our personality that we have relegated to the unconscious can have far-reaching consequences. Neglecting this part of the self can lead to a range of psychological and emotional difficulties, impacting our behavior, relationships, and overall well-being. Psychological impact. 1. Projection and relationship strain. One of the most significant effects of ignoring the unacknowledged self is the tendency to project these attributes onto others. This projection can lead to misunderstandings and conflicts in relationships. When we are unaware of our own negative traits or unresolved issues, we may attribute them to those around us, leading to unwarranted criticism and judgment. This not only strains interpersonal relationships, but also prevents us from understanding and addressing our own issues. 2. Internal conflict and inauthenticity. The unrecognized aspects of our personality can create an internal conflict, as these repressed parts struggle to surface. This internal discord can manifest as feelings of inauthenticity, where individuals feel they are living a life misaligned with their true selves. This misalignment often leads to a general sense of dissatisfaction and lack of fulfillment, even in the face of external success or societal approval. 3. Psychological imbalance. Jungian theory emphasizes the importance of balance within the psyche. The unaddressed parts of our psyche can disrupt this balance, leading to psychological disorders such as anxiety, depression, or even personality disorders. These mental health issues often stem from or are exacerbated by the dissonance between our conscious identity and the unacknowledged aspects of ourself. 4. Stunted personal growth. Ignoring these aspects hinders personal growth and development. When we deny parts of our personality, we limit our potential for self-discovery and self-actualization. This limitation can result in a life that feels unfulfilled and devoid of personal meaning. Real-life implications. 1. Career and personal ambitions. In the professional realm, individuals might find themselves pursuing careers or goals that align with their conscious self-image but ignore their deeper aspirations or talents. For example, a person might excel in a logical, analytical career while suppressing a deep-seated passion for the arts. This suppression can lead to a sense of emptiness and a lack of engagement with their work. 2. Interpersonal dynamics. On a relational level, the consequences can be seen in patterns of conflict and dissatisfaction. An individual might repeatedly find themselves in relationships where they feel misunderstood or unfulfilled, not realizing that this is a reflection of their internal struggle with unacknowledged aspects of their personality. 3. Emotional well-being. Emotionally, the impact is evident in feelings of inexplicable sadness, anger, or fear. These emotions often arise from the tension between the conscious and unconscious selves. For instance, a person might experience unexplained bouts of anger, which could actually be a manifestation of repressed feelings of injustice or personal powerlessness. 4. Physical health. The psychological stress of maintaining this internal division can even manifest physically. Symptoms such as chronic fatigue, unexplained aches, and stress-related illnesses are often linked to unresolved psychological issues. The journey towards acknowledging and integrating these hidden parts of ourselves is not just a path of personal healing, but also a step towards healthier relationships and a more balanced society. It is through this process that we can find true alignment with our inner selves, leading to a life that is both authentic and fulfilling. In the upcoming sections, we will explore the transformative process of facing and integrating these aspects of our personality. This exploration will not only provide insight into the mechanisms of personal transformation, but also offer practical guidance for those seeking to embark on this journey of self-discovery and growth. Embracing the darker aspects of our personality is a crucial step in achieving psychological wholeness. This process involves several key steps, each with its own challenges and strategies for overcoming them. 1. Self-reflection and acknowledgement. The first step is to engage in honest self-reflection. This involves recognizing that there are aspects of ourselves that we have not fully acknowledged. It's about asking ourselves tough questions and being open to discovering parts of our personality that we have previously denied or ignored. 2. Exploration and understanding. Once we acknowledge these aspects, the next step is to explore them. This can be done through various methods such as journaling, meditation, and psychotherapy. The goal is to understand why these aspects were repressed and how they have influenced our behavior and choices. 3. Acceptance. After understanding these facets of our personality, the next crucial step is acceptance. This means accepting them as a part of who we are without judgment. It's about recognizing that these aspects, whether positive or negative, contribute to the complexity of our being. 4. Integration. The final step is integrating these aspects into our conscious life. This means finding ways to express and incorporate these previously hidden parts of ourselves in a healthy and constructive manner. It could involve changing behaviors, exploring new interests, or altering how we interact with others. Challenges and difficulties. 1. Resistance to self-discovery. One of the first challenges is overcoming the initial resistance to self-discovery. It can be uncomfortable to confront aspects of ourselves that we have long denied. The key here is to cultivate a non-judgmental attitude towards oneself and to recognize that this process is a path to greater self-awareness and fulfillment. 2. Emotional turbulence. As we delve into these unacknowledged aspects, we may encounter strong emotions such as fear, anger, or sadness. These emotions are a natural part of the process. It's important to allow oneself to feel these emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them. Practices such as mindfulness and grounding techniques can be helpful in managing these emotional states. 3. Difficulty in acceptance. Accepting these aspects can be challenging, especially if they conflict with our established self-image or societal norms. It's crucial to create a supportive environment during this process, whether it's through therapy, supportive relationships, or self-help groups. Reminding oneself that all human beings have a complex mix of traits and that perfection is not the goal can also aid in acceptance. 4. Integrating into daily life. Finally, integrating these aspects into our daily life can be a gradual process. It may involve changing long-standing patterns of behavior or re-evaluating one's values and goals. Patience and persistence are key, as is the willingness to experiment and learn from mistakes. As we navigate this journey, it's important to remember that this is not a linear process. There will be setbacks and moments of doubt, but each step forward contributes to a deeper understanding of ourselves and a more authentic way of living. This journey is about embracing the full spectrum of our being and recognizing that each aspect, no matter how dark it might seem, has value and contributes to our wholeness. The benefits of integrating your shadow, becoming your best self. The journey of integrating the darker parts of our personality is not merely a process of self-examination and acceptance. It is a transformative path that leads to profound personal growth and a more fulfilling life. Let's explore the multitude of benefits that this integration offers. Integrating these aspects of ourselves leads to a holistic transformation. This process is akin to putting together the missing pieces of a puzzle. By acknowledging and incorporating all parts of our personality, we become more complete and authentic versions of ourselves. This wholeness brings about a multitude of positive changes in various aspects of our lives, including our self-awareness, relationships, creativity, emotional resilience, and overall well-being. Enhanced self-awareness. One of the primary benefits is a heightened sense of self-awareness. When we explore and accept all parts of ourselves, we gain a deeper understanding of who we are, what drives us, and what we truly value. This awareness enables us to make more conscious choices in our lives, aligning our actions with our true selves. We become more mindful of our reactions, behaviors, and decisions, leading to a more intentional and authentic life. Improved relationships. Integrating these aspects also significantly improves our relationships. By understanding ourselves better, we develop greater empathy and understanding towards others. We become more accepting of others' complexities, as we recognize similar complexities within ourselves. This understanding fosters deeper connections, improved communication, and more meaningful interactions with those around us. Unleashed creativity. Creativity is another area that benefits greatly from this integration. Often, our most creative impulses lie in the parts of ourselves that we have yet to explore fully. By embracing these aspects, we unlock new sources of inspiration and creativity. We find new ways of expressing ourselves, be it through art, writing, music, or any other form of creative expression. This creative liberation not only enriches our lives, but also contributes positively to the world around us. Emotional resilience and growth. The journey towards integration also cultivates emotional resilience. By facing and accepting our darker parts, we learn to navigate difficult emotions and situations with greater ease. This resilience allows us to face life's challenges with more strength and grace. Moreover, this process contributes to emotional growth. We develop a broader emotional range, experiencing life more fully and with greater authenticity. I encourage you to embark on this journey of personal exploration and integration. The path is not always easy, and it requires courage and honesty, but the rewards are immeasurable. You will discover aspects of yourself that you never knew existed. You will develop a richer, more nuanced understanding of who you are, and most importantly, you will step into a life that is more aligned with your true self. Remember, this journey is deeply personal and unique to each individual. There is no right or wrong way to approach it, and it unfolds differently for everyone. The key is to stay open, curious, and compassionate towards yourself as you navigate this path. As you embark on this transformative journey, you are not only improving your life, but also contributing to a more conscious and empathetic world. By becoming the best version of ourselves, we inspire those around us to do the same. This collective growth and self-improvement have the power to bring about positive change in our communities and society at large. Transformation and integration, the path to wholeness. The process of integrating the unacknowledged parts of our personality is not just a journey of self-discovery, it is the heart of what Carl Jung termed individuation. This journey is about more than just self-improvement. It's about achieving a deep and authentic sense of self-realization. Individuation is a concept introduced by Jung that refers to the process of becoming aware of oneself, integrating the unconscious with the conscious, and fully realizing one's unique potential. It is the psychological process of integrating opposites within the psyche, including the conscious with the unconscious elements of our personality. Jung explained, "The goal of life is to make your heartbeat match the beat of the universe, to match your nature with nature." This quote reflects the essence of individuation, aligning one's inner self with the broader rhythms of life. It's a process of reconciling the various parts of oneself, leading to a more harmonious and balanced existence. Individuation is not about becoming perfect or eliminating flaws. It is about embracing all aspects of oneself, leading to a greater understanding and acceptance of who we are. This process fosters a sense of completeness and authenticity, allowing us to live in a way that is true to our deepest selves. Integration plays a crucial role in the process of individuation. It involves acknowledging, understanding, and incorporating the previously unrecognized aspects of our personality into our conscious life. This integration is not a one-time event, but a continuous process of growth and development. As we integrate these aspects, we often find that our values, beliefs, and perceptions evolve. We may discover new interests or passions, or we may find ourselves re-evaluating our life's direction. This evolution is a natural part of becoming more aligned with our authentic selves. A key aspect of this journey is overcoming dichotomies within ourselves. Jung believed that the human psyche is inherently dualistic, comprising opposing elements such as the masculine and feminine, the rational and irrational, or the light and dark. Individuation involves reconciling these opposites, recognizing that they are not mutually exclusive, but complementary parts of a whole. This reconciliation leads to a more nuanced understanding of ourselves and the world around us. It allows us to navigate life's complexities with greater wisdom and flexibility. As Jung aptly put it, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. This statement highlights the importance of acknowledging and integrating all parts of ourselves, even those we might prefer to keep hidden. The ultimate goal of this transformative process is to live authentically. Authentic living means being true to our innermost nature, expressing ourselves honestly and fully in all aspects of our lives. It is about aligning our actions and choices with our true selves, leading to a life that is not only more fulfilling, but also more meaningful. This journey towards authenticity and wholeness is unique for each individual. It is shaped by our personal experiences, values, and aspirations. However, the underlying principles remain the same, embracing the full spectrum of our being and striving for a harmonious integration of all our parts. Philosophical insights on shadow integration. Nietzsche and the embrace of the whole self. Friedrich Nietzsche, the German philosopher, profoundly impacts our understanding of self-integration. His concept of the Übermensch, or overman, is particularly relevant. Nietzsche proposed that the Übermensch is an individual who has transcended the constraints of conventional morality to create a personal value system. This transcendence is not about disregarding ethical principles, but about understanding and integrating the multitude of forces within the self, including those that society might deem negative or undesirable. Nietzsche's philosophy encourages us to confront and embrace the complexities of our nature. He believed that acknowledging and integrating these complexities is essential for achieving true greatness of character. His famous assertion, "He who fights with monsters should be careful lest he thereby become a monster. When you gaze long into the abyss also gazes into you," strikingly captures the idea of facing the darker aspects of our personality. It's a caution and a call to embrace our entirety without losing ourselves in the process. Soren Kierkegaard and the pursuit of authentic selfhood. Soren Kierkegaard, often regarded as the first existentialist philosopher, provides another crucial perspective on self-integration. His emphasis on personal choice, responsibility, and the search for meaning aligns closely with the journey of integrating the unacknowledged self. Kierkegaard believed that true self-discovery involves a deep engagement with the inner self, including aspects that we might be inclined to ignore or hide. He posited that individuals often conform to societal norms at the expense of their authentic selves, leading to a life of inauthenticity. For Kierkegaard, the path to authentic selfhood involves a conscious acknowledgement and acceptance of one's true nature, including the less flattering parts. He encourages a reflective life where one continually questions and reassesses their beliefs, values, and choices, aligning them more closely with their genuine self. Eastern philosophies, embracing duality and balance. Eastern philosophies, particularly Taoism and Buddhism, offer profound insights into the process of self-integration. The Taoist concept of yin and yang symbolizes the balance of opposites, darkness and light, softness and strength, passivity and activity. This concept can be applied to the idea of integrating the unacknowledged self, where the goal is to find harmony between the contrasting aspects of our personality. Buddhism, with its emphasis on the middle way, teaches a similar concept of balance. It advocates for a path of moderation, avoiding the extremes of self-denial and self-indulgence. This philosophy can be interpreted as an encouragement to acknowledge and integrate all aspects of the self, thus avoiding the extremes of rejecting or becoming consumed by any single part of our psyche. These philosophical perspectives offer a multifaceted view of the journey towards self-integration. They provide a framework for understanding the complexity of this process and guide us in embracing the full spectrum of our personality. Each perspective, in its own way, contributes to our understanding of what it means to live as a fully realized, authentic individual. These philosophical perspectives collectively offer a rich understanding of the journey toward self-integration. They not only provide frameworks for comprehending this complex process, but also guide us in embracing our full personality spectrum. As we draw this exploration to a close, it's vital to reflect on the profound journey we've embarked upon, a journey that delves into the depths of our psyche and the essence of our being. We began by introducing Carl Jung, a luminary in the field of psychology, whose groundbreaking ideas have illuminated the path to understanding the human mind. His concept of integrating the unacknowledged aspects of our personality offers a framework for profound personal transformation. We delved into the intricacies of this concept, exploring how these hidden facets of our personality, though often perceived as dark or negative, are essential components of our whole self. We discussed the consequences of neglecting these parts, the psychological imbalance, the strain on relationships, and the barrier to personal growth. We then journeyed through the transformative process of facing and integrating these aspects. This path involves self-reflection, understanding, acceptance, and integration, each step presenting its unique challenges but leading to a more authentic and harmonious existence. We explored the multitude of benefits that this integration brings: enhanced self-awareness, improved relationships, unleashed creativity, and emotional resilience. These benefits underscore the transformative power of embracing all parts of our psyche. We turned to the wisdom of philosophers, both ancient and modern, who have pondered the complexities of the human spirit. Their insights provided a broader context for our discussion, highlighting the timeless and universal nature of this quest for self-integration and authenticity. This journey is more than a psychological or philosophical exploration. It is a deeply personal one. Each of us carries within us the capacity for incredible growth and transformation. By embarking on this path of self-discovery and integration, we open ourselves to a life that is not only more authentic and fulfilling, but also more in tune with our true potential. This process of integration is ongoing and ever evolving. It's a journey that requires courage, honesty, and perseverance. It asks us to look within, to confront what we might have previously shunned, and to embrace our complete selves, with all our complexities, contradictions, and inherent beauty. I encourage you, the viewer, to reflect on your own journey. Consider the aspects of yourself that you might have neglected or overlooked. Recognize that within these hidden depths lie untapped strengths and potentials. The journey towards integrating these aspects is not just a path to self-improvement, it's a path to self-revelation and empowerment. Take the time to engage in self-reflection, to explore your inner world with curiosity and compassion. Remember, this is not a journey you have to undertake alone. Seek support, whether through dialogue with others, professional guidance, or exploring the rich resources available in philosophy and psychology. As you embark on this journey, remember that each step you take towards integrating your entire self is a step towards a more authentic and fulfilling life. The path may be challenging, but it is also incredibly rewarding. Embrace the journey with an open heart and mind, and be prepared to discover a world within you that is rich, vibrant, and full of potential. Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. These words by Carl Jung remind us that the true journey of discovery lies not in seeking new landscapes but in having new eyes, in looking within ourselves to uncover the richness and diversity of our being. So step forward with courage and curiosity. Embrace the full spectrum of your humanity, and as you do, watch as your life unfolds in ways more magnificent and fulfilling than you could have ever imagined. This is not just the path to self-improvement, it is the path to self-realization, a journey to the very core of what it means to be fully and wonderfully human.